The 2K Sports pregame show.
Ernie Johnson joined by Shaquille O'Neal. Kenny the Jet Smith, thanks for tuning in. You're watching the NBA on 2K Sports. Tonight, it'll be the Cleveland Cavaliers going up against the San Antonio Spurs. Checking out the Spurs, they've got an opportunity tonight to sweep the season series 2-0. The coaching staff commented that they feel confident coming into this one. You talk about great trios in NBA history, the Spurs trio, Duncan, Ginobili, Parker, last year moved into the #1 spot for career winning percentage for any 3 active players. Shaq, how long will it be before we see something like this again?
Well, the trio in the Spurs model has been synonymous with success. That's right, Ernie, synonymous. I don't know how to spell it, but it sounded good, so I hope you understand. Synonymous.
Sounds awesome.
Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the
Welcome to the NBA on 2K Sports. This is Kevin Harlan along with Clark Kellogg and Greg Anthony with Doris Burke reporting on the sidelines. It's the home of the Cavaliers, Quicken Loans Arena, as we are in Cleveland, Ohio. And, of course, Danny Green. Without his presence, they have to overcome the hole there.
Well, Kevin, no question it's a risky deal to make because you can sometimes sour your fans when you do that. I mean, trading one of the most popular players on the team is always high risk, no matter what you get in return.
Yeah, but it's a trade that I'm sure a lot of fans will second guess. Clearly a bold move, but as a GM, these are the things that are supposed to happen. You're going to bring scrutiny, and you just have to wait and see how this plays out. You have to focus on the big picture and what's going to be best for your organization moving forward.
And the starting group for the Spurs, we've got Kawhi Leonard, Parker out there with Martin. Then there's LaMarcus Aldridge, and it's Duncan in at the pivot spot, manning the middle. And watching Kevin Love, he can do everything on the offensive end, Clark. He's been that way really his entire career, going back to high school.
Yeah, his game is low to the ground, too. No explosive moves or dunks. He takes you on and beats you with skill. Good footwork, smooth shot, sharp passer, and an excellent IQ.
Here's Irving, and the call will be against Kevin Martin. That's his first foul.
Man, it's close, but, didn't get on balance quick enough.
Yeah, and as quick as players are at this level, in this day and age, I mean, you've got to be perfect in your anticipation to draw the charge.
LeBron kicks to Thompson. Great D that time from Duncan.
Usually, if he gets to the rim, he's converting it into points. But the defense stood tall there.
And his presence as a scorer, it just has a calming effect for the rest of the team. He's a fallback option whenever they need one.
Here's LeBron. Kawhi Leonard making his last shot. Outside Irving. First shot, first basket. He's out of the blocks fast.
That kind of power move has become a trademark of his.
Spurs have gone 2 of 3 here to start off the game. Duncan, a screen. It's Parker with the drive. No dice from the high post.
Very dangerous to leave a guy like that open. Lucky break there for the D.
Here's James. His shot is good, making him a perfect 2 for 2 from the floor.
And early on, they've been nearly perfect from the floor. Just the one miss here on their first 5 attempts.
Nobody near Leonard. From outside, off the mark. The Cavaliers have gone 4 of 5 from the field so far. And James gets it to go on the assist by Irving. And it's 6 points for LeBron.
They've worked hard and created great chances for themselves in this opening quarter.
And if they match that effort at the defensive end, watch out.
Here's Irving. Plays it in off the breakaway. Irving's got his second basket of the night.
Really not hard to see why they're giving up points on this run. I mean, they've just given them too many looks inside.
Yeah, and usually when a team goes on a run like this, it's because they are getting too many opportunities on the inside. Make them beat you from deep. It's still pretty early to judge, but so far the 2014 draft class has lived up to the hype. The top guys were as good as promised, and a lot of talent down later in the draft as well.
Now here's Parker. He provides a good amount of offense for the team, averaging around 11.5 points a game.
And you know what? Call it great defense or poor offense. Either way, they're limiting their scoring.
Greg, bottom line is they're ahead on the scoreboard, and that's all that matters.
Aldridge against LeBron. And here's Love from the arc. Another three for Cleveland. With the 2014 draft class, Clark, it was so hyped up, a lot of teams probably didn't care that they were losing some games at the end of the year as they themselves were testing some younger players on their roster.
Yeah, agree with you wholeheartedly there. And you look at the guys from that class, many of them have star potential.
And San Antonio calls the first time out of the game. Coming into this, having notched a win against the Rockets in their last game.
Well, listen, they own the boards at both ends of the floor in that game, and that's what won it for them. Those extra possessions were invaluable.
Well, Greg, I think coming into the game, that's where they thought they had an advantage, and they did a great job exploiting it.
Channing Frye's checked in for Thompson. The Spurs also changing it up. David West, he's checked in for Duncan. Ginobili comes in for Kevin Martin. And it's Mills in for Tony Parker. Now here's Ginobili. 20 points for him last game against Houston. Clock at 6. Aldridge with a screen on Irving. Mills with it. He's picked up by Irving. Once again off the mark by San Antonio. LeBron outside. The three. No good. Nice D from Ginobili. So for Cleveland, their last game, a win against the Detroit Pistons.
And they ran their offense nearly to perfection in that one. Very few possessions were wasted.
Yeah, they put the mute button on them that time. I mean, in front of a hostile crowd, they never let the fans get going. They silenced them over and over again with big, timely shots.
It's a pick by Love. LeBron against Aldridge. And he gets the bucket. 8 points for LeBron.
How about the start that they've gotten off to here? Huge lead, and we're still in the first quarter.
And, guys, it hasn't just been the scoring. I mean, they're playing tremendous defense, too.
Now, here's Mills. He hasn't yet put up any points in this one. Shots good from West.
And I love the fact that he didn't have to slow down or adjust there. The pass was just timed perfectly. And, guys, every time we think Patty Mills is going to take the next step in his development, he takes a step back. Last season, he shot career lows from the field and behind the arc after having one of his best ever campaigns the year before. That really just makes a coach pull his hair out. And fortunately for me, I don't have it.
And here's Leonard. Following the three-pointer by Kevin Love. From past the arc. And Ginobili with the three. Ginobili's got himself going with the triple, his first basket of the game. The Cavaliers leading by 10. Well, back to Mills. The Spurs could have used his contributions last year. Parker was hobbled. Corey Joseph was still learning. Mills didn't put together consistent efforts and ended up losing minutes, Clark, because of it.
Yeah, you know, Mills had the opportunity to make an impact for a championship contender. That chance doesn't come very often. Unfortunately, he couldn't make the most of it.
And that one's good.
And that put back about as easy a bucket as you're going to get.
Exactly what happens when you don't box out, Greg.
Now here's James. 20 points for him last game against the Pistons in Detroit. It's a pick by Love. Irving from long range. It's hauled in by LaMarcus Aldridge.
And no excuse there for missing that one after being freed up by a great pick.
Yeah, I agree with you. I mean, they came away empty, but they got the look they wanted, and really, I like the movement and communication there.
And as we conclude the first quarter, a one-sided game so far. Cavaliers lead by 12. Stay with us as we get set to bring you the second quarter right after this. And the San Antonio Spurs have really popularized that unselfish offensive style of play. Manu Ginobili talked about their Spurs approach.
Attack and find the open teammate, not try to solve problems by ourselves. It's something that we've never done, and every time we did it, it's not us.
There's a lot to be said for knowing, Greg, who you are and what your game plan is, and there may be no other team that gets that better than the San Antonio Spurs.
And Kevin, it helps to have that core of Manu, Tony, and Timmy there as the foundation, and coaches on the floor for each new wave of players that come on board, whether it's Leonard or Splitter, Mills, Green, or any of the other role players that have come through this Spurs organization.
Welcome back, folks. We'll see if we're in store for a more tightly contested quarter as we move here into the second. And looking at what we've seen, Cavaliers pretty much in control here, it would appear.
Smooth sailing from an offensive standpoint thus far.
No other way to put it, Greg. They've made it really look easy so far.
Thompson down low with Mozgov. Matthew Dellavedova is out there with Kyrie Irving. And it's Jefferson in at the small forward. That's the 5 for Cleveland right now. They grab their own miss. Good D by Thompson. The Cavaliers leading by 12. Irving drives in. Some nice passing by Cleveland here. Here's Dellavedova, covered by Martin. Dellavedova kicks to Irving. There's the triple. The shot is off. And San Antonio will go the other way with it. They'll be hosting Orlando for the next one. That game marks the first half of a quick 2-game homestand. Cleveland's gone 3 of 6 tonight when they've let it fly from downtown. And he was fouled on the way up. 2 free throws now for him.
And for Kyrie Irving, it had been a long time coming. Last season, he finally played in his first postseason with the Cavs. And up until the unfortunate injury, he certainly made the most of it.
And think again about the playoffs last year, Clark. They weren't all sunshine and roses for Irving. He had to play through a tough leg injury in the conference semifinals, and of course the injury in the finals, the fractured kneecap, and he was gone.
Yeah, that was really painful to watch, seeing him go out for the rest of the playoffs with that fractured kneecap. A freak injury, but he'll grow from it and be better.
San Antonio calls timeout. Well, what a season for Kyrie Irving last year. Huge moments for him. 57-point outburst against San Antonio. That was a new franchise record for the Cavs.
I think a lot of it was finally being able to play with other All-Stars, quite honestly, Kevin, but you can't discount the work Irving put into the offseason to be ready for the regular season.
Here's Marjanovic. Down low, here's Diaw. Mozgov with the block. And the ball goes out of bounds. Last touch by Mozgov. Parker, right side. Outside, Martin. He dishes it to Duncan. He kicks to Diaw. And there's the whistle. Fouled hard on the shot. He'll go to the line. That one on Jefferson.
And for Irving, he did come into last year hot. I mean, he won the MVP in international play while with Team USA.
That free throw, no good.
And for Kyrie, taking home the MVP in a Team USA tourney like that, it's a huge ego boost. I mean, of all the stars on that team, he shined the brightest. And I think that's going to help his confidence for this year. And it's just hard to imagine the Spurs without Coach Popovich on the sidelines. He's the longest tenured coach in the NBA and has done so much for this team. Easily one of the best coaches in the history of our league.
Cleveland leading by 13. To the middle, here's Mozgov. And Thompson kicks to Dellavedova. Here's Irving. And it's good from the elbow. Irving's got 4 points this quarter.
And he could be the guy to put this game out of reach.
And Greg, you know, for Popovich being with the Spurs for so long, since 1996, Clark, he is actually the longest tenured coach in all of sports right now.
Amazing, Kevin, and he's done it through winning. I mean, the third fastest coach ever to get to 1,000 wins. You compare his numbers with any coach in any sport, and they stack up as Hall of Fame caliber.
Dellavedova hits the difficult fadeaway jumper.
Wow, faded away and floated it right over the big guy. That shot is almost impossible to block.
Parker outside. Duncan with the screen for Parker. Over Irving. And it's sent back by Irving. And he gets it to go. Duncan's got his second basket of the night. Now about 3 minutes gone in the second quarter of basketball. Irving kicks to Thompson. Good, and the assist goes to Irving. And the Cavaliers lead by 15. And breaking down some numbers here, the hustle stats for the Cavaliers.
Well, in the first half of play, they're closing out aggressively, blocking shots, a key indicator of their activity on the defensive side.
Another big aspect of their game tonight has been the fast break, transition opportunities. They're really keeping it up tempo so far.
To the right side. And almost 4 minutes gone here in the second quarter of play.
Well, they've really cranked up the intensity, tracking down those loose caroms, stacking up second chance buckets in a big pile.
Yeah, and those hustle points are just another reason they're in control.
Mozgov with the block, and they're able to recover. Here we go, one-on-one. And Irving gets it to go on the assist by Mozgov. And that's now 10 points for Kyrie Irving. Parker with it. Looking for his first basket still in this one. Marjanovic, and he drops in the layup off the glass.
Yeah, heads-up aggressive play right there. Saw the smaller man on him and took it straight to the basket.
There's the dish to Thompson. Back to Irving. Jefferson with the three, and another three for Cleveland.
Playing smart offensively in the first half, no doubt about it.
Yeah, the numbers support it. I mean, they're shooting the much better percentage from the field so far.
And here we go, Cavaliers running again. Irving, good.
He's been one of their more reliable options today, guys. I mean, his shooting has led them to this lead.
Outside, Martin. Mozgov with the block.
His touch has disappeared on him this quarter. He just hasn't been able to get it going.
And he gets the bucket. 14 points for Kyrie Irving.
He's finding all kinds of ways to get it done. What a quarter he's had.
Parker outside. Down low. Deflects the pass. Mozgov with the steal. Oh, and here we go. Irving's got it. The fast break chance. And a fast break now for the Spurs. Finished off the break. 6 points for him.
He's really starting to ramp it up now, getting involved in the offense here after being held without a point in the first.
Pass to Jefferson. Kicks it to Mozgov. Lead pass was put in just the right spot.
You know, of the last 6 baskets, 5 have come on the interior. This is major smash mouth basketball, guys.
All about imposing your will offensively, getting exactly the kind of looks their coach drew up.
6 seconds separating the shot and game clocks. Diaw, the screen. 5 on the clock. And that one's good. Parker.
And he came off that screen, and the D just didn't get over the top of it.
Yep, weren't there in time enough to challenge Greg, and when that's the case, you can mark those up for him.
The basket drops, and he gets fouled on the shot. 1 free throw coming his way. And that sends Kyrie Irving to the free throw line. That one on Parker. Cleveland shooting their 3rd free throw shot of the game.
And they've had really good numbers all season from the free throw line.
Yeah, in general, they've been very solid. I mean, free throw shooting isn't something they've had to worry about too much this season, guys.
And here's Mills from the arc. No good on the buzzer beater. And through one half, it hasn't even been close. Cavaliers on top, running away with it. And now we'll send it down to Doris Burke, who's standing by courtside.
All right, Kevin, here with Tony Parker. And Tony, you guys have struggled offensively so far in this game. Why do you think it's been so tough to get into a groove here?
I don't know. We got a hard time to make a basket. Playing a very good team. They play with a lot of energy. So hopefully in the second half we can shoot a little bit better.
Tony, thank you. Kevin, nothing like seeing 2 Titans get after it.
All right, Doris, thank you. And time now for the halftime break with the third quarter soon to follow here on 2K Sports.
The 2K Sports Halftime Show.
Hello again, everybody. Ernie Johnson here, joined by Shaquille O'Neal and Kenny the Jet Smith. We welcome you to the halftime show on 2K Sports. What a game it's been for Kyrie Irving. He ended up with 17 points, 3 assists, and 1 block. The first 2 quarters went very well for him. Kenny, your thoughts? How are the Cavaliers playing? Shaq, what did you see from San Antonio?
Well, they run into a very hot shooting team tonight, fellas. And you combine a hot shooting team with the weak defense they've been playing, you're going to get crushed. I hope coach is coming down hard on them right now because they can't keep giving up so many open looks. What are you doing?
All right, that is going to wrap up our halftime report as it's just about time for the start of the third quarter.
Well, it's been a one-sided affair so far through the first 2 quarters, but there's plenty of time to mount a comeback. You look at Kyrie Irving in this game, he has been everywhere.
You know, we talk so often about making your teammates better, and his ability to see the floor and then make those passes on time in that first half was the key.
Boy, I tell you what, they say he's not a playmaker, but he certainly has fooled me with the way he's performing right now.
The Spurs shooting a mediocre 41% in this one. Here's who Greg Popovich is starting in the second half. Aldridge out there with Kawhi Leonard. Then there's Martin. Then there's Parker. And it's Duncan in at the 5.
Well, LeBron James long considered the greatest player in the league. He's got some competition now, though. Kevin Durant, Anthony Davis, Steph Curry, James Harden, all playing well last year. But for my money, there's no better player in the league than King James. Yeah, clearly he had an established position there.
Yeah, and I like this call because you want the refs in that situation. If there's any doubt, err on the side of giving the benefit of the doubt to the offensive player. That should have been a block, and it was.
How about the reaction time on that pass? Quick, and what good work there to get in the way of it.
Another bucket in the paint. That's something they just have not been able to stop today.
Yeah, the defense is all about disrupting timing and spacing, and what they've got going right now is not getting it done.
The drive by Duncan from 11 feet away connects. The jumper drops. Duncan's got 6. Clark, you look at LeBron's career averages right now around 27, 7, and 7. Hard to argue at this time he's not the best player in the league.
Well, you know, he might not always win the MVP award, Kevin, but that doesn't really matter. I think he's the most feared player in the league, and he proved he can carry a team in last season's NBA Finals. Clearly one of the all-time greats.
2 summers ago, all anyone could talk about was LeBron James and the return to Cleveland.
I mean, you couldn't write that stuff, Kevin. I mean, it was unbelievable, the storyline. I mean, after all the acrimony between LeBron and the ownership as well as the fans. But you know what? He said it best. He truly is back where he belongs.
He's home.
Yes.
He's home. Matthew Dellavedova has checked in for Irving. And both free throws good for LeBron.
And, you know, for LeBron, he knew he had his work cut out for him in Cleveland. A younger team, unseasoned in the playoffs. They had to remake the roster a bit and gain that experience.
San Antonio calls timeout.
And LeBron and the Cavs, I think they'll have a chance to bring that long-awaited championship to the city of Cleveland. But LeBron's return was bigger than basketball. He said it was about hope and inspiring his home state, and no doubt that was accomplished in his first year.
Leonard against James. Aldridge with a screen on LeBron. The drive by Aldridge. That's good, and it's Leonard with the assist.
Great way to start the half. Easy layup against some soft D.
Cleveland's gone 5 of 8 from three-point land. 15 points and a deep ball for them tonight. And Shumpert kicks to Thompson. Laid in with a nice touch off the glass.
They're finding lanes to the hoop now with consistency. 5 buckets in a row from the paint.
And on the flip side, Greg, the defenders have to show more fight on the interior. They've got to offer more resistance here.
They set the pick. Parker with a clean look drains the three-pointer. Parker's got his second bucket tonight.
They're doing work here in the second half, 3 or 4 to start.
The drive by James, and he gets it to go.
They're doing a really good job of getting the ball inside and attacking the paint. That's an area they have completely dominated.
Well, once they recognized the advantage they had inside, it made a lot of sense just to continue to attack that area.
And you know what? He's just not on his game, no doubt about it. Their deficit isn't totally on him, but he has not been an asset for his team.
Love dishes to James, fires for 3. San Antonio with the rebound. Well, the Spurs just don't go on losing streaks very often, Greg. One perk of being a talented veteran group.
Yeah, how about the Spurs lost 4 games in a row twice last year. Over the last decade before that, Kevin, they had only lost 4 games in a row twice. Unbelievable.
For 3, Love. Great D that time from Leonard.
Kevin, I didn't like that defensive effort at all, but they're lucky he missed it.
Yeah, you hope that's not indicative of the type of D they're going to play, because if they do, they're going to have struggles with him tonight.
And it's Shumpert penetrating. On the wing, Shumpert. Back to Love. Thompson, left side. Kawhi Leonard comes up with the rebound.
And you saw how quick the defense was. They were ready for him. They got the hand in the face there and made that much more difficult.
Yeah, and every team needs that kind of rugged interior defense, because you want to try to distract your opponents when they get inside, and you also want to make them uncomfortable in their shot attempts.
Mozgov, he's checked in for the Cavaliers. We've gone about 3.5 minutes into the third now. Leonard, the open look. Almost, but it rolls out.
I tell you what, folks, I bet he won't miss that shot next time he takes it.
And that one's good, Shumpert.
That's how to orchestrate for your teammate. Terrific pass.
San Antonio's gone 1 of 3 from downtown since halftime. Here's Marjanovic. Ginobili outside. Here's Mills. And the bucket counts, and he's on his way to the free throw line. Try to make it a 3-point play.
What a pass by the fearless Manu Ginobili. Great teamwork.
Channing Frye's checked in for the Cavaliers. Jefferson comes in for LeBron. The Spurs also with the sub. West is checked in. Here's Dellavedova. He's got 5. Not wasting any time and taking the shot and knocking it down. Spurs have gone 4 of 9 from the floor so far in the third. San Antonio calls timeout.
Way too many shots in close, and he's got to get his guys to cut that down in terms of points in the paint.
Clearly the reason for the timeout, Greg. I mean, he wants his guys to toughen up inside and start protecting the rim.
And the Cavaliers making a change here. Irving's checked in. Here's Ginobili. And he can be counted on to put some points on the board every night. He's averaging right around 13.5 points a game.
Man, can you always depend on him or what to lead you to the right place with that pass? Money. And for David West last season, the thought was he might increase his production with Paul George out, but the opposite happened. West suffered his lowest scoring output in a decade, only 12 points per game on 47% shooting. Rough showing for the former All-Star.
You know, they're not totally dominating the glass, but they're definitely doing enough to keep this lead right where it is.
Yeah, but they've separated themselves, Clark, in a number of categories, rebounds just being one of them.
It's stolen by Jefferson. And Irving with the basket on the assist by Jefferson. And that's 19 points for Kyrie Irving. And taking a quick look here at the hustle stats for the Cavaliers.
The activity level defensively, I've really been impressed with. They've been an attack mode on the defensive end.
They haven't wasted time getting the ball up the court tonight either, and it's resulted in a lot of fast break points.
Well, Greg, getting back to West, even though his scoring was down, his playmaking was up. You were talking about that. Clark, 3.5 assists a game last season, by far the highest number of his career.
Yeah, one of the very best pros I've ever been around. He's very smart. He's tough. He's all about team. And, you know, he makes things happen. Impacts winning in a lot of ways, and those assist totals indicate that.
He feeds it to Leonard. Parked down low that time, and he got the 3-second call.
Clearly a mental lapse at an inopportune time.
Yeah, that's a terrible mistake, Greg, to make it any time. But it's really exacerbated when you make it at this time.
For Cleveland, they've gone 8 of 13 on shot attempts to begin the second half. Irving drives in, feeds to Fry. Back to Irving. Lets it go from deep, and no good trying to get that one. And as we conclude the third quarter, pretty much a blowout. It's been a one-sided affair. Cavaliers ahead, delivering the blowout. It's the NBA on. And we're rolling here again with the fourth quarter. Might not come down to the wire, but you never know. Cleveland's gone to the three-pointer 11 times tonight, nailed 5 of them. All fueled up and ready to go. Let's reset the lineups courtesy of Gatorade for the fourth quarter. So on the floor for Cleveland, Channing Frye out there with Mozgov. Then it's Williams. Then it's Jefferson, and it's McRae in at the shooting guard. And here's Frye from the arc. That's good. Frye's got the fourth quarter started here with a bucket for Cleveland.
Just look at what a sniper he is from long range. He's got such an unusual skill for a big fella.
A three ball. Good.
Only took him a few seconds to answer the three ball with one of their own.
Greg, we've got a three-point battle taking shape here.
And the pass to Mozgov. And there's the feed to Frye. Ball's knocked loose. Fourth quarter of basketball. We're about a minute into it. Miller kicks to Mills.
And one thing about the NBA, there are a ton of siblings currently playing in the league. Some on the same team, some on opposing sides, but there must be over a half a dozen sets of siblings.
And the Cavaliers making a change here. Jones is checked in. And so it's San Antonio with it. And here's Mills from the arc. And Jones pulls it down. Cleveland moving the ball around. Here's Frye. And Cleveland again with the bucket. As you said, Greg, there are a ton of sibling pairs in the NBA. Even more, Clark, if you include the D-League.
Well, you start with the Plumlees, the Gasols, the Teagues, Zellers. For twins, you have the Lopez twins, Morris twins, the Zellers, Gasols, Teagues, Steph and Seth Curry. Count 2 with the D-League.
That's a lot. That's a lot. Williams kicks to Frye. Fires, high post, and again it's Cleveland.
Yeah, just a smart shot, taking advantage of the mismatch.
Well, with a stroke like that and the height advantage as well, the mid-range J is almost a gimme.
Here's Mills. Here's Anderson. Passes it to Miller. Dishes to Diaw. Miller outside. And Mozgov comes to help. Just 5 to shoot. And the basket by Diaw.
Andre Miller, one of the best dime droppers around.
We're in the fourth quarter here, just under 2.5 minutes gone. And a fast break now for the Spurs. That is good.
And it doesn't really matter who starts the break with how he runs the floor. He seems to always be the one who finishes it.
Yeah, he is so fun to watch and how he attacks the rim at full speed like that, man. It's something to behold the way that guy gets to the rim.
For San Antonio, they've gotten 4 of their 6 shots to fall so far here in the fourth. A pretty nice efficiency there. Now Mills. Anderson, a screen on Williams. Mills. And Jones pulls it down.
It's a +5 advantage for them in the rebounding category after that board.
Very steady with their work on the interior. Really a well-rounded effort overall.
Ingles passes to Miller. It's good, and he drew contact on the shot, so he will go to the line. A three-point play chance here. And for Kyle Anderson, he had so many traits, Greg, the Spurs were looking for when they drafted him back in 2014, but he spent pretty much the entire season on the pine.
Yeah, and you know that Coach Pop makes his guys earn their minutes. You know, he doesn't care if he took you in the first round or if you're an undrafted free agent. He's going to play the guy who helps his team win.
Inside, here's Marjanovic. Takes it into the teeth of the D and converts the layup.
Yeah, the chemistry has been terrific. Really impressed with their offensive execution.
You know, the defense, Greg, has really been kept off balance because of the outstanding passes. 4 straight field goals have been made off an assist.
San Antonio's gotten off 4 3-pointers in the final quarter, and 2 of them have fallen. Now, here is Miller. Not a lot of room. They set the pick. Now, here's Mills. He's guarded by Williams. Shot clock at 2. No dice from the high post. The Cavaliers have gone 6 of 8 from the field in the fourth so far. It's been a great start to this final quarter for them. And here's Fry for 3. It's good again, and an excellent 7 for 8 shooting night so far.
And as we head to the final buzzer here, a crushing blowout, big-time dominance, and this will go in the record books as a gaudy win for the Cavaliers.
But, Steve, you know, you don't see this kind of a blowout often. But tonight, this is a quality win across the board to deliver out, Clark, this kind of punishment to
Well, you know what? I thought they did a nice job of playing against the game. They kept the pressure on and clearly were dominant in every area.
And this will now push it to a total of 44 games in the win column on the season.
Really, they had their number this season. 2 wins, a home win, and an away win.
Yeah, you know, I thought the result might be a little different this time around, but clearly I was mistaken. Now they'll have to wait till next year for a shot at revenge.
And beyond the actual result of this game, fans are going to look back and see this was just a monstrous performance for Kyrie Irving. He was extremely efficient offensively, got good looks, and really knocked down big shots all game long.
Richard Jefferson, he's checked in for Jones.
Well, if it wasn't out of reach, it is now, thanks to that last little spurt.
And why put the brakes on now? I just say keep on letting it fly.
Here's Diaw. Buries it from about 10 feet away.
And really, if this had come just a little earlier, they may have been able to get back into the game.
Yeah, I agree with you. They needed this a lot sooner than they got it.
We've got a 9-second difference between the shot clock and the game clock. Mozgov with the bucket.
Well, they're going to walk out of here with a win and send this crowd home happy.
Yeah, you know, it was a real solid performance for them in a lot of areas. I mean, they should be proud of their work tonight.
Mozgov with the block. Fast break, here they come. And Jefferson gets it to go.
Really good ball movement there in transition.
Now here's Mills. So we see the Cavaliers taking the win here. It was a tale of 2 teams tonight. One that was in total control, operating flawlessly, and Clark the other just searching for answers that they could never find.
Well, I think these fans too, Kevin, gave their team a tremendous lift. I mean, they never gave up on them. From the opening tip until the end of the game, they were in it. And that certainly helped this crew get to the W.
And now we'll send it down to Doris Burke, who's standing by courtside.
Well, Kevin, in a game like tonight, what sort of elements of your identity and confidence are confirmed by getting this type of win?
That we can fight through and beat any team in the league if we're playing well. So for us to get this win here, our 6th man is our crowd. They've been great. They packed the house tonight, and we got a big win against a team that's right up there with the top teams in the league.
The crowd enjoyed it, and we did too. Kevin, thanks for your time. Guys, back to you.
Thank you, Doris. Great interview once again.
The 2K Sports post-game show.
Welcome back, everybody. Ernie Johnson here along with Shaq and the Jet as we present our Jordan Player of the Game. Kyrie Irving. Talk about lighting it up in the second quarter. My word, that was just huge, and the impact carried them through the entire game.
I don't know if there's a fan base that loves their star more than this crowd. Wow. You get jealous, and he feeds off that support. Once they got behind him, he became unstoppable, man.
He was dead on from the field tonight, guys. I'd call his performance economical because there was no wasted opportunities. He took advantage of every good look he got. I mean, everything he put up was going in.
And that'll do it for our broadcast tonight. Hope you enjoyed the show. For me and Kenny Smith, Shaquille O'Neal, and Kevin Harlan, and the entire 2K Sports crew, have
I want you to know that it's our time. You and me bleed the same light. I want you to know that I'm all yours. You and me run the same course. I'm slipping down a chain reaction, and here I go, here I go, here I go, go. And once again I'm yours in fractions. It takes me down, pulls me down, pulls me down low. Honey, it's raining tonight, but storms always have an eye, have an eye. Tell me you're covered tonight, or tell me lies, tell me lies. I want you to know that it's our time. You and me bleed the same light. I want you to know that I'm all yours. You and me
pra me libertar. Seja com quem for, a minha vida é cantar. Nunca no mesmo lugar, seja sozinho a dois. O resto eu vejo depois. Mas só em pensar que com a sua face, tudo que eu pedisse, só você que me desse. Aí pensando desse esse quarto falasse. Mas que pena, já era, já era, já era. Não deixo mais aquela tão bela e singela. E nem dá. Por quê? Seu rosto, a voz dela é através de alô. Se passou pela favela é porque alguém me falou. Então já que me deixou por aqui, aprendi a viver um pouco sozinho. Mas o que eu posso fazer, fia, se eu gosto da boemia. Essa noite pra mim é dia, mas posso mudar. Mas como isso é questão de tempo, então isso nem tenho muito, nem curto. Fica de canto, eu prefiro suar. Quando eu me vi só nesse lugar, eu pensei que preciso sair pra me libertar. Seja com quem for, a minha vida é cantar. Nunca no mesmo lugar, seja sozinho a dois. O resto eu vejo depois. O resto eu vejo depois, talvez. Pode ser que uma mina firmeza possa trombar no rolê. É isso, deixa comigo, é só seguir o sentido e despertar os picos floridos. Mas não, pera lá, deixa eu falar, né assim. Para mim tem que ter valor. É só chegar e abusar, nem forjar, nem fingir que nem dá pra sentir o amor. Ó fita, ela nem confia mais em mim, acredita. No conto das minas que pra mim foi zica. Tava tudo claro, mas a cena complica e a saudade fica. Então já era, já era, já era. Não beijo mais aquela tão bela